Okay, then good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, all right. What we were discussing in the last class, Srihari, what we were discussing in the last class, please switch on your video.
About electric field lines.
Yes, electric field lines and its properties. And the last topic that we were discussing is electric dipole.
Dipole.
Okay, what do you mean by electric dipole?
It consists of two equal and opposite charges
Yes,
in a very short distance.
the equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance is known as electric dipole. Okay, all right. Then Lydia,
Yes, ma'am.
how we can measure this electric dipole?
By electric dipole moment.
With the help of dipole moment. And how we represent this dipole moment?
moment.
Yes, very good, very good. Mehak, how we can represent this dipole moment? Mehak, please unmute and answer.
P is equal to Q into 2L.
Yes, P. The letter P is used to represent the dipole moment. Very good. Then the equation is to calculate for dipole moment is P is equal to Q into 2L. Okay, then Nandana,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
is this Q and 2L represents?
Q is the magnitude of either charge and 2L
Yes.
is the distance between them.
Yes, Q is the magnitude of any one of the charge and 2L is the distance of separation between them. Okay, very good. Dia,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the unit of dipole moment then?
Coulomb meter.
Coulomb meter. Okay, very good. So I hope that you understood those points. So in the last class, we were discussing about the electric dipole. Electric dipole is the equal and opposite charges. They are separated by a small distance. And this electric dipole can be measured with the help of a physical quantity. That physical quantity is known as dipole moment, and it is represented by the small letter P. And what is this dipole moment? It is the product of the magnitude of any one of the charges and the distance of separation between them. That is P is equal to Q into 2L and its unit is Coulomb meter. It's clear? So let us move to the next topic. So today we were going to discuss about this electric dipole along the axis of the electric dipole, the electric field along the axis of the electric dipole. So today we want to discuss electric field along the axis of electric dipole and electric field along the equatorial plane of the electric dipole. Okay. So today we want to discuss these two topics. Electric field along the axis of the electric dipole and electric field along the equatorial plane of the electric dipole. So we can discuss it one by one. First, we are going to discuss about the electric field along the axis. Electric field along the axis of electric dipole. Along the axis of electric dipole. So we are already studied that. What do you mean by electric dipole? Electric dipole is the equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance. So in order to explain this electric field along the axis of electric dipole, first of all, we can consider an electric dipole. So we consider an electric dipole. Plus Q charge and minus Q charge. It is separated by a distance 2L. Okay. So first of all, we are considering an electric dipole. Plus Q and minus Q. It is separated by a distance 2L. Now we are going to discuss the electric field along the axis of an electric dipole. So we want to consider an axial line along this axis. So we can consider an axial line through this electric dipole. Okay. And what we want to find? The electric field along the axis of an electric dipole. So we want to consider a point along the axis of this electric dipole. So consider a point P here. Consider a point P along the axis of the electric dipole. Now, the distance of this point P from the center of the electric dipole is given by R. The distance of the point P from the center of the electric dipole is given by R. So if we are consider this is the center of the electric dipole, this distance is becomes L and this distance is become L. So L plus L gives 2L. That is the total distance of the electric dipole. Is it is clear? So what we are taken here, we are considering an electric dipole with a plus Q charge and minus Q charge. They are separated by a distance 2L. And we consider an axial line along the electric dipole. Consider a point P along the axial line of the electric dipole. And the distance of the point P from the center of the electric dipole is given by R. So if we are consider the center of electric dipole, the one side, that is the distance of the charge plus Q to the center of the electric dipole is given by L. And the distance from the center of the dipole to the charge minus Q is given by L. So what is the total length of the electric dipole? This L plus L is equal to 2L. Clear? Now we want to find out this electric field along the axis of the electric dipole. So in order to find out the electric field at a particular point, what we are used to do? What we want to do here, which method that we are adopting in order to find out the electric field intensity at a particular point? We want to do place a unit positive charge. This point you must be kept in your brain till the end of this chapter, because we are used to the same step in everywhere. That is, in order to find out the electric field intensity at a particular point, we want to place a unit positive charge at that particular point. So here I am going to place a unit positive charge plus 1 coulomb. I place a unit positive charge plus 1 coulomb. So this step we are used again and again. We are repeating the same step. In order to find out the electric field intensity at a particular point, we want to place a unit positive test charge. That is, here it is plus 1 coulomb at the point P. Okay. Now, if I place a unit positive charge plus 1 coulomb at the point P, then what happens? This charge minus Q experiences a force due to the presence of this plus 1 coulomb charge. What type of force is present between these two charges, minus Q and the plus 1 coulomb charge? What type?
Attractive.
Yes, very good. There is a force of attraction is present between these two charges, minus Q and plus 1 coulomb charge. That is, this plus 1 coulomb charge experiences a force of attractions toward this minus Q, because they are opposite charges. Opposite charges is attract each other. So the force is experienced by them is given by E1. because it is electric field intensity. We have already studied what you mean by electric field intensity. It is nothing. It is the force experienced by a given charge and that of a unit positive test charge. Here the given charge is minus q and the unit positive test charge is plus 1 coulomb. So we can write that the force experienced by them is given by E1. So according to Coulomb's law, what is the equation for E1? E1 is equal to, anyone? E1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. What is the charges here? Q and plus 1. It is minus Q, but we know that according to Coulomb's law, we have take the product of magnitude of the charges. Magnitude of the charge means modulus of minus Q. What is modulus of minus Q? What is the
Q.
modulus of a negative quantity? The modulus of negative quantity is always a positive. So it is Q. Modulus of plus Q is also equal to Q. So product of magnitude of the charge means the modulus of that charge. So the modulus of minus Q is equal to Q. So here we can take it as Q. Okay. So according to Coulomb's law, what is our electric field at that point? Plus 1 coulomb charge due to the charge minus Q, E1 equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by, what is the distance of separations between this charge plus 1 coulomb and that of the minus Q? The distance from the center of the electric dipole to that of that plus 1 coulomb charge is R. Similarly, the distance from the center of the electric dipole to that of the charge minus Q is L. So that is, the L is subtracted from that of the total distance. So what is the distance of separation between the charge plus 1 coulomb and that of the minus Q? It is given by R minus L the whole square. R minus L the whole square. Is there any doubt in that step? How we are taking the distance?
Ma'am, can you repeat it?
Yes. Here we are taking the distance of separation between the charges. When we are considering the plus 1 coulomb from the center of the electric dipole, it is the distance of separation is given by R. So the distance of separations between the plus 1 coulomb from that of the center is given by R. Now we want to calculate the distance of separation between this minus Q from the center of the electric dipole, that is L. So that distance we needed to subtract it from the total distance R, right? So the distance is becomes 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by R plus L the whole square. We can put this is equation number 1. Is it is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that charge about the cases of the negative charge is over. Now we can concentrate on the positive charge. Here there is a plus Q is there. Here also the plus Q is experiences a force due to this plus 1 coulomb charge. What is the force is experienced between this plus 1 coulomb and plus Q charge? What is the force experienced by plus Q and plus 1? Is it is a force of attraction or repulsion?
Repulsion.
It is a repulsive force, right? It is a repulsive force because here plus Q, here plus 1 coulomb. We are already studied that the two like charges are repulsed. So due to the positive charges, both of them possess the positive charge. This plus Q charge is repel this plus 1 coulomb charge in this direction. It is repelled in this direction, and this force of repulsion is represented by E2. The force of repulsion between the charges plus Q and that of the plus 1 coulomb charge is given by E2. Clear? Now, the force experienced between the charge plus Q and that of the plus 1 coulomb charge is given by E2 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by, what is the distance of separations between the charges? What is the distance of separation between the charges?
R plus L.
Yes. From the point P to that of the center of the dipole, the distance is R. And what is the distance from the charge plus Q to the center of the dipole? It is L. That is R plus L the whole square. R plus L the whole square. This is our equation number 2. Clear? So we are deriving the equations for electric field intensity at the particular point P due to the charges minus Q and that of the plus Q. The electric field intensity at that particular point P due to the charge minus Q is given by E1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by R minus L the whole square. Similarly, the electric field intensity at the point plus 1 coulomb charge due to plus Q is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q divided by R plus L the whole square. Now, we can calculate the electric field intensity, the net electric field intensity at the point P. How we can calculate the net electric field intensity at the point P? How we can calculate the net electric field intensity at the point P? According to superposition principle, we are studying that the net electric field intensity at a particular point P is the vector sum of the electric field due to individual charges, right? So the net electric field at the particular point P is given by E1 plus E2. But you just look the direction of E1 and E2. Is they are lying along the same direction or in the opposite direction?
Opposite.
They are in the opposite direction. So E1 plus minus of E2, because in this case, the E2 is just lying opposite to that of the direction of E1. So in effect, what happens to the net electric field? What happens to the net electric field? E net is equal to E1 minus E2. E1 minus E2. Now we want to substitute the values of E1 and E2. The net electric field is equal to, what is the value of E1? What is the value of E1? Yes, Steffi, what is the value of E1?
1 by 4 pi epsilon 0
Yes, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0
into Q by
Q
R,
divided by,
R minus L square.
yes, it is R minus L square. Q divided by R minus L the whole square, right? Minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. What is the value of E2? Sania? What is the value of E2? 1 by 4 pi epsilon.
4 pi epsilon 0 Q by
Q
R.
divided by
R
R plus
L.
L the whole square. Very good. Now, when we are looking this equation, some terms are common. What are they? Which terms are common in this equation? Adul? Which all the terms are common in this equation?
1 by 4 pi into Q.
Yes, 1 by Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 is common. So we can take it outside. So the net electric field is given by Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 is common. Take it outside. And which are the term inside the bracket? 1 divided by R minus L the whole square minus 1 divided by R plus L the whole square. Right? Now we can just cross multiply the terms which is inside the bracket. So what happens to the net electric field? The net electric field is becomes equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into, inside the bracket we are cross multiplying it, we get R plus L the whole square minus R minus L the whole square. divided by r minus L the whole square into r plus L the whole square, right? Now, here we can use this an identity. So you write the identity in your the rough side of your notebook. R plus L the whole square, which is in the form of an identity that we were already studied in the mathematics. It is of the form A plus B the whole square, right? The R plus L the whole square is in the form of A plus B the whole square. What is A plus B the whole square? Dia, what is A plus B the whole square?
A square plus B square plus 2AB.
Yes, A square plus 2AB plus B square. Similarly, here R minus L the whole square, which is of the identity of the form A minus B the whole square. Emmanuel, what is A minus B the whole square?
A square minus B square, A square plus B square minus 2AB.
Yes, A square minus 2AB plus B square. Okay. Similarly, when you observe the denominator, it is also in the form of an identity A minus B into A plus B, right? A minus B into A plus B. What is A minus B into A plus B? That is equal to A square minus B square. A minus B into A plus B is equal to A square minus B square. So we can use these identities. We can use these identities to the terms inside the bracket. Okay. So A plus B the whole square is equal to A square plus 2AB plus B square. And A minus B the whole square is equal to A square minus 2AB plus B square. And A minus B into A plus B is equal to A square minus B square. We can use these mathematical identities into the terms inside the bracket. Then what happens to our equation? What changes takes place to our equation? The net electric field E net is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon 0 as it is. Q by 4 pi epsilon 0 and R plus L the whole square. What is R plus L the whole square? Nevin? It becomes R square plus 2RL plus L square. Right? Minus, what is R minus L the whole square? What is R minus L the whole square? R square minus
2RL.
yes 2RL plus L square. Divided by what happens to the denominator? It becomes R square minus L square the whole square. R square minus L square the whole square. That is A plus B into A minus B is equal to A square minus B square. Right? Now we can just take this minus 2 inside. Then what happens to our equation? The net electric field is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 R square plus 2RL plus L square into minus of R square. It is minus R square minus of minus 2RL, that is plus 2RL minus of minus plus L square, that is minus L square, divided by R square minus L square the whole square. Is there any doubt in this step? Now we can cancel some terms. Here there is a positive R square and a negative R square, positive L square and negative L square. Okay, then what is left in this equation? Then what happens to our net electric field? The net electric field is becomes equal to E net is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0. Inside the bracket, some of the terms are cancelled. Here there is a plus 2RL and plus 2RL. What is plus 2RL and plus 2RL? Yes, you can respond. Why are you silent? Plus 2RL. Yes, that is equal to 4RL. So in the numerator, there is only one term, that is 4RL divided by R square minus L square, the whole square. Right? Now we can split this 4RL into two terms, that is 2R into 2L. So that is the net electric field E net is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon 0. Inside the bracket, this 4RL can be split up into two terms, that is 2R into 2L. In effect, it is 4RL. So we just split the 4RL into two terms, that is 2R into 2L divided by R square minus L square, the whole square. Okay. Now I just rearrange this equation. The net electric field E net is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q into 2L into 2R divided by R square minus L square, the whole square. Okay. Now, what is Q into 2L? Are you familiar with that term? What is Q into 2L? The product of any one of the charge and the distance of separation between them. What is Q into 2L? Can you recall?
Dipole moment.
Very good. It is nothing. It is our dipole moment. So we can replace that term with our dipole moment. Okay. So in this term, the Q into 2L. But we know that. But Q into 2L is equal to the dipole moment P. So our equation becomes the net electric field is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. Instead of this Q into 2L, we write the dipole moment P into 2R divided by R square minus L square, the whole square. Clear? Now, what is P? P is the dipole moment and R is the distance. Similarly, in the denominator, we have R square minus L square. Here, R is also a distance and L is a distance. What is R? Which distance we are denoted as R? Which distance we are denoted as R? We are considering the dipole plus Q and minus Q and an axial through this, a point P here. From the center of the dipole to the point P, the distance is given by R. So the distance from the minus Q to the center of the dipole is L and plus Q to the center of the dipole is L. So when we compare this distance, which distance is large? Is this distance R or this distance L? Which distance is large? Is it is R or L? When we compare the distances R, that is the center of the electric dipole to the particular point P, or that of the distance from the center of the dipole to that of the charge, which distance is large, R or L?
R.
Yes, when we are comparing the distance R is very large as compared to that of the length L. So here we can say that the length L is very, very small than that of the distance R. So we can neglect that term because that distance is very, very less as compared to that of the distance of the particular point from the center of the electric dipole. So we can neglect it. Okay, then what happens to our equation? The net electric field E net is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 P into 2R divided by R raised to 4. We neglect the term L square, the whole square. Here there is a r square and outside the bracket there is a square. So it becomes r raised to 4, right? Now here there is a r, we can cancel this r and also one r from the denominator. So it becomes cube. So what happens to our final equation? The final equation is become the net electric field E net is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p divided by r cube. 2p divided by r cube. This is our equation of electric field along the axis of an electric dipole. Clear? So the net electric field is given by E net is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p divided by r cube, where E net means it is the net electric field at that particular point. P is the dipole moment and r is the distance. And we already know that the electric field is a vector quantity. So we need to represent it in terms of vector notation. So the net electric field, the vector net electric field is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p. P is the dipole moment. Dipole moment is also a vector quantity. So put the vector notation here. Divided by r cube into the unit vector r. This is the vector form of the electric field along the axial line. So in the normal form, it is net electric field is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p divided by r cube. But the electric field is a vector quantity. So the net or the vector net electric field is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p vector divided by r cube into r cap. R cap is a unit vector since we are representing this in the form of vector field. So this is the equation for representing the electric field at a point along the axis of an electric dipole. Is it clear? Do you have any doubt in the steps of this derivation? Vidur? Please switch on your video.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, can you explain how you got r
Which
R
one?
is-
This r cube.
raised to 4? How you got?
Okay, okay. How you will get the r cube? It becomes r raised to 4. How we get r cube? Okay. From that step, I explain it once again. The net electric field. The net electric field is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into 2p divided by, here 2pr is there, 2pr into r square minus L square, the whole square. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So it becomes equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0. So before going to the next step, we are already said that this distance r is very large as compared to that of the length L, or vice versa. We can say that the length is very, very small as compared to that of the distance r. So we can neglect this term L square, the whole square. This whole square is possible for also to the r square and also for L square. So this term is become, we can neglect this term. So it becomes Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 2pr divided by r square, the whole square. Right? That minus L square is neglected. So what is the term left here? 2pr divided by r square, the whole square. Okay. That is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 2pr divided by r raised to 4. Now we can cancel. In the numerator there is a r, that r, and from the denominator one r also get cancelled. So it becomes r cube, right? So what happens to our net electric field? The equation is becomes the net electric field is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p. In the numerator that r is got cancelled. 2p divided by R cube. This is our final equation. Is it clear?
Ma'am,
Yes.
it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0.
Oh yeah, 1 by 4 pi epsilon. Oh yeah. Sorry. The q into 12 is get cancels. Yeah. 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. Thank you. 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, 2p divided by r cube. Right? And in the vector form, the equation is becomes the vector electric field. The vector net electric field is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p. The dipole moment is a vector quantity. Put the vector notation divided by r cube. Since it is present in a vector field, we give a unit vector. Here the unit vector is r. Clear? Is it clear this equation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we are discussing the electric field at a particular point along the axis of the electric dipole. So the electric field along the axis of the electric dipole is given by the equation E net is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p divided by r cube. Okay. What is the vector form of this electric field along the axis of the electric dipole? Nandana?
E net is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p vector by r cube into r cap.
Into r cap. All right. Anthony, what is the normal form of the electric field along the axis of an electric dipole?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What is the normal form of the electric field along the axis of the electric dipole?
E1 is equal to
Yes.
even 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0
Yes.
2 by r minus l whole square.
P by r minus L the whole square. We are neglecting that terms. And what is the final equation form? Switch on your video. Please switch on your video. Yes.
E net is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0
Yes.
2p by r cube.
That Q and 2L combined together, it becomes P. Okay. What is the final form of net electric field? Punya. The net electric field along the axis of electric dipole.
Equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p by r cube.
2p divided by r cube. Very good. So I will summarize it once again in order to explain the electric field along the axis of the electric dipole. We are considering an electric dipole. What do you mean by electric dipole? It is the equal and opposite charges separated by a small distance to L. Okay. Then we are drawing an axial line along that and consider a particular point P along this axial line. And from the center of the electric dipole to that particular point P, the distance is taken as R. Okay. Then we know that whenever we place, in order to find out the electric field intensity, what we want to do there, in order to find the electric field intensity at a particular point, what measure that we are taken? We are placing.
Unit positive charge.
Yes, very good. We are placing a unit positive charge at that point. Okay. Then whenever we placing a unit positive charge at that point, due to the presence of this unit positive charge, the plus Q charge and minus Q charge is experiences a force on that test positive charge. Okay. So minus Q is experiences a force of attraction and plus Q charge is experiences a force of repulsion. And both these forces are in opposite direction. So the net electric field is becomes E is equal to E1 minus E2. Then substituting the values and finally when we solve the equation, we get the net electric field at that particular point along the axis of the electric dipole as E net is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 2p divided by r cube. Clear? Okay. So the electric field along the equatorial line of the electric dipole we can discuss in the next class. Thank you.